The pizza party has become a fixture in many workplaces. Bosses order some pizzas for the break room and declare it a pizza party and think that will somehow motivate staff. It won't work. It can never work. In fact, the pizza party is such a legendarily bad idea that it has become a meme about workplaces that refuse to do anything about any actual problems and think they can motivate employees with stale fast food. I heard one employee say that she and her coworkers had been pizza partied. That is just a hilarious way to put it. So many people don't feel motivated at work, and there's a very simple explanation for this. The motivational techniques that most bosses use don't work because they don't understand how motivation works or even what motivation is. Companies try many things to motivate employees. Sometimes it's the carrot, like a pizza party, but sometimes it's the stick. Here's one of the worst examples I have ever heard. One store manager implemented a terrible safety incentive. Any employee caught violating safety procedures was given a 2-foot rubber chicken on a string to wear around their neck, even in front of customers. The only way to get rid of the chicken was to catch another employee behaving unsafely. Then you could give the chicken to them. This quickly turned into a game of hot potato, with employees chasing each other around the store in search of the slightest violation so they could get rid of the safety chicken. The manager had to cancel that program very quickly. While a few companies use rubber chickens as punishment, fortunately, most of the standard motivational tools like promotions, bonuses, employee of the month awards, pep talks, and yes, pizza parties are not only worthless, they're actually downright harmful to the drive, energy, and commitment of employees. It only leaves them feeling manipulated, cynical, and demotivated. The result is clear. Many workers feel little or no loyalty, passion, or motivation on the job. In this video, I want to show you that there are 4 different kinds of motivation and only one of them works. And unfortunately, most managers exclusively focus on the other 3. That is kind of silly, huh? These are the 4 different kinds of motivation. First, motivation can be intrinsic or extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation comes from inside yourself. It means that there's something you want. Extrinsic motivation comes from outside of yourself. It's when somebody else wants to make you do something. Secondly, there is positive and negative motivation. Positive motivation is when you want to get something. You are motivated towards some goal. Negative motivation is away from something you want to avoid. Combine these 2 dimensions and you get 4 kinds of motivation. Oh my God, I just love a good 4-quadrant model. Now, let's see why 3 of these quadrants are completely useless for creating motivation. First, it's clear that extrinsic motivation doesn't work over the long term. Alfie Kohn has studied motivation extensively, and he puts it like this: it's an article of faith for most of us that rewards promote better performance. But a growing body of research suggests that this law is not nearly as ironclad as was once thought. If a reward, money, awards, praise, or winning a contest comes to be seen as the reason one is engaging in an activity, that activity will be viewed as less enjoyable in its own right. In his excellent book, Punished by Rewards, Kohn shows in detail that extrinsic motivation has some serious drawbacks. First, it's not sustainable. As soon as you withdraw the punishment or reward, the motivation disappears. Second, you get diminishing returns. If the punishment or rewards stays at the same level, motivation slowly drops off. To get the same motivation next time requires a bigger reward or a worse punishment. Third, it hurts intrinsic motivation. Punishing or rewarding people for doing something removes their own innate desire to do it on their own. From now on, you must punish or reward them every time to get them to do it. In one example from Cohn's book, children in a small US town were given points for every book they checked out of the local library during the summer vacation. The points could be redeemed for a free pizza in an attempt to encourage reading. There's that pizza again. And the children in the program did indeed read more books than other children in their summer vacation. But after the program ended, when reading no longer paid off in pizza, those children read far fewer books than others. Their own intrinsic desire to read books had been subsumed by the extrinsic reward. Now they were reading not for reading, but to get pizza. And when the pizza went away, so did their motivation to read. We also know that negative motivation doesn't work. This is scary. Heart patients who had double or quadruple bypass operations face a very simple choice. They must stop eating unhealthy food, smoking, drinking, and working too much, or they die. I mean, that has got to be the ultimate negative motivation, and it carries the ultimate price for not doing it. So take a guess, how many of them actually managed to change their lifestyle sustainably? 2 years after the operation, how many of these heart patients have managed to stick to their new habits? Come on, take a guess. It's 10%. 10%. Faced with the ultimate negative motivation, 9 out of 10 are still not able to make the necessary lifestyle changes, which is why you see a lot of patients coming in for their second or third heart operations. And this is also strong evidence that negative motivation does not work. So what does work? One doctor, Dean Ornish, created a program where heart patients were taught to appreciate life rather than fear death. They practiced yoga, they meditated, they got anti-stress counseling, a healthy diet, and all of this was aimed at making them enjoy life more. And the results were amazing. 2 years later, 70% of the patients maintained their new lifestyles. When even the threat of death can't make people change their lifestyle sustainably, it becomes clear that motivation based on avoiding something is simply not as effective as motivation based on achieving something. In the excellent book Freedom and Accountability at Work by Peter Block and Peter Kostenbaum, they write this: we currently act as if people are not inherently motivated, rather that they go to work each day and wait for someone else to light their fire. This belief is common among managers and employees alike. It is right and human for managers to care about the motivation and morale of their people. It is just that they are not the cause of it. Brilliant. So while extrinsic motivation is out and negative motivation is out, we are now left with only one quadrant: intrinsic, positive. This completely changes the role of the manager as motivator. Instead of being the source of motivation, which is kind of a ludicrous idea in itself, the manager's role is to help employees find their own intrinsic motivation. How do we do that? What enhances intrinsic motivation? There's been a ton of research done on this, and here are some of the main drivers. Mastery, when you're able to challenge yourself and accomplish new tasks and you're great at what you do. Autonomy, when you have choice over what you do. Connection, when you can work with and help other people. Recognition, when you get meaningful, positive recognition for your work. And of course, happiness at work. People who like their job and their workplace are much more likely to find intrinsic motivation in their work. So rather than trying to bribe people to want things using pizzas and promotions, managers should help their people to discover meaning and develop their skills at work. What some bosses don't realize is that people want to do good work, create a happy, positive work environment, and people are naturally motivated. Even better, they motivate themselves. You don't have to do it every step of the way. And that surely beats the punishments and the rewards. But what do you think? Have you ever been pizza partied at work? How motivated did you feel after a slice of pizza? Have you ever received a form of reward that actually made you perform better? If so, what was it? Why did it work? When are you really motivated at work, and why? Write a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. And stay happy.